You might be asking why the lights are off for this Tuesday broadcast of Bible Tract Echoes. And that's a good question. And the reason is actually intertwined with the entire premise of the broadcast today. Beyond the track today, we're talking about saving money. Hope you enjoy. Thank you for being a part of our ministry today. It is such an encouragement to be allowed into your home or vehicle, even via your headphones. And as you are a part of what goes on here at Bible Tracts Incorporated today, I would like to highlight for just a moment the important role that you, and yes, I'm talking to you, the important role that you play in our ministry. You know, BTI has been around since 1938, printing and distributing gospel tracts the world over. But really, let's boil that down. What could we have done without people like you? You know, when Paul Levine wrote his first tract, and people asked for more and more and more, and this ministry was really launched, the true heroes of this work came to the forefront. You know who I'm talking about? I'm talking about you. People that selflessly gave of their time to take a little piece of paper with a simple gospel presentation and prayerfully give that item that in the world's eyes could seem so minuscule and yet is so impactful. People that took that simple gospel tract and gave them out. Not only that, but people that give and give and give towards the end goal of this ministry. You know, we're not about printing more tracts. We are about seeing more people saved. And gospel tracts is just a tool to that end. Your work on behalf of the gospel's sake is what makes that and our mission possible. So thank you, and God bless your continued efforts. If you'd like more information about us, we'd love for you to visit our website, BibleTractsInc.org. Now I'm going to take a moment. I'd like to highlight a tract that is very impactful. It's called How Can a Person Be Away? On the front cover of this tract, you'll see firemen. You will see heroes. You'll see first responders. You'll see a person that is willing to run into a burning building instead of away. You know, John 14:6 says, Jesus saith unto him, I am the way, the truth, and the life. No man cometh unto the Father but by me. You might ask this question. How can a person such as you or me be a way to heaven? And that's the title of this tract. How can a person be away? Let me illustrate that for you for just a moment. Imagine you are trapped in your room on the 5th floor of a burning hotel. Billows of suffocating black smoke are pouring through the hall, cut off every means of escape. Terror really grips you. Horrible death stares you in the face. You slam the door shut to your hotel room, but the smoke starts to creep through the cracks into the room, grimly reminding you of sheets of flame that are licking hungrily at the entire building. Of course, you hear sirens, you hear people shrieking, people are yelling and choking in fright. You look down at the street below, and you see a fireman on a ladder that is beginning to extend towards you. And he says, I've come to save you. Sticks his head in the window. I've come to save you. And you ask this, you mean you're going to take me down that ladder? And he very quickly says, yes, that's why I'm here. And you say, surely there must be some other way. What about the stairs? No. What about the elevator? No. How about the fire escape? And he says, listen, this is not the time to argue. There's no other way. I am the way. Trust me. I'll have you down safely. You see, that fireman in that circumstance is the way, your only hope. You must let him save you or you will perish in the flames. In the same way, Jesus Christ is the only way to heaven. If that provokes some questions for you, If that might prompt you to start a discussion about that thought, this tract, how can a person be away? Number one, I'd love to hear from you. You can reach us through social media. You can find me at Micah McCurry, at MICAHMCCURRY. You can find me on social media. You can find our ministry at Bible Tracts. You can email us. The announcer at the conclusion of the program will tell you all about how to contact us. But if you are a gospel warrior, if you are a user of tracts, if you are an evangelist, or you have evangelistic tendencies, or just simply you take seriously the Great Commission, go ye into all the world and preach the gospel, if you take that seriously, I'd absolutely love for you to order some of our tracts. Specifically, how can a person be away? You can get them completely free on our website. Now, I'd like to go beyond the tract for just a moment. Now, our ministry, Bible Tracts Incorporated, been around since 1938, printed and distributed over 500 million gospel tracts. It's amazing. But I'd like to talk about for just a second how incredible our staff is. You know, I have the great privilege to serve alongside some great folks here at BTI. They're hard workers, good Christians, and all around just pleasant people. It makes it so much easier to work with people that are pleasant. And I'd like to talk about one aspect of our ministry that is so important related to our staff. That aspect of our ministry that's really behind the scenes, it's shipping. You may not know, not only do we not charge for any of our tracts, but we ship them around the world free of charge as well. God has opened doors into countries that we could only dream of making an impact in for the cause of Christ. We ship them completely free all over the continental United States and across the water, up into Canada, down into Mexico, Nigeria. We do our best to get them into even closed countries like right now, Venezuela and New Zealand and all over Europe. You name the country, we probably have sent tracts there, but all of that comes with a pretty hefty price tag. We spend multiple thousands of dollars every month shipping tracts, and you know what? It's all incredibly worth it. God has blessed our efforts, and we're doing it for the gospel's sake, but it still costs a lot of money. So that's where I'd like to brag on our staff. Our folks here at Bible Tracts Inc. are always very careful with your money. You see, our ministry survives on a donation basis. Every dollar that we spend is truly your money given to us under the watch care of God Almighty. And we want to make the biggest impact for Christ for the lowest dollar figure. As we have been working with our shipping, we've made some amazing discoveries that save this ministry huge amounts of money. Let me explain what that means. For instance, we have a certain amount, $1 per pound, that it costs for us to ship to the foreign field. Well, we figured out how to, just recently, not only ship for a lower price tag, but normally our shipping to the foreign field can oftentimes, depending on the type of package, can take up to 6 to 8 weeks. Friend, that's too long for the gospel's sake. And so, because of our staff working tirelessly to make sure we stretch every dollar as far as it goes, not only have we begun to ship in a cheaper, less expensive manner, but it's actually also a better way to ship because it gets there much faster, about 1 to 2 weeks instead of 6 to 8. And we have tracking on it, and so that we know if it actually arrives where it's supposed to. All of that means that because of the money saved, we can print and ship more tracts all over the globe. Now, friend, if you would like to help offset the cost of our shipping, keeping in mind that it does cost a couple of cents per tract if you do the math, and keeping in mind that we ship millions of tracts every year. You say a couple of cents isn't that much. Well, when you multiply it by multiple millions, it does add up. You can help us with that. You can help offset the cost there and allow us to print and ship even more by visiting our website, BibleTractsInc.org. We'd absolutely love for you to consider partnering with us in a financial manner for the cause of seeing the gospel go out around the world. Now, yesterday, we reviewed and talked about Galatians chapter 3 and verse number 29, and I believe that's where God would have us to be today. I know that today, Tract and Truth Tuesday, going beyond the tract, we've taken a little extra time, and I truthfully want to make sure we give the Bible study its due. And so we'll touch on some aspects of the Bible study today and continue and pick up tomorrow. But if you would, go to the book of Galatians for just a moment, just a few minutes left in the program. Galatians chapter 3 and verse number 29. Galatians 3:29 says this, "And if ye be Christ's, then are ye Abraham's seed, and heirs according to the promise." Now, yesterday I picked out one word of this verse and we stressed it. We talked about the fact that we are heirs. We're going to continue with that theme, but there's another word that I'd like to talk about today. It's a smaller word than the word heir or heirs. It's the word if. That second word in this verse, Galatians 3:29, and if. Well, let's think about that for just a moment. We'll touch on why that's such an important word in just a moment, but let's review what we talked about yesterday. The fact that you and I have the privilege of being heirs of God. What does the psalmist have to say about this? Psalm 8 and verse number 1 says this, "O Lord, our Lord, how excellent is thy name in all the earth, who hast set thy glory above the heavens. Out of the mouth of babes and sucklings hast thou ordained strength because of thine enemies, that thou mightest still the enemy and the avenger. When I consider the heavens, the work of thy fingers, the moon and the stars, which thou hast ordained. What is man that thou art mindful of him, and the son of man that thou visitest him?" I mentioned yesterday that we truly are nothing with a capital Nothing compared to God, and yet he still loves us. But not only does he love us, he also made us heirs of his. You see, it's one thing to verbally express love, but it's another to put your money where your mouth is. He made us heirs of the same promise. What promise is that? Let's see, Genesis 12, verse number 1. "Now the Lord had said unto Abram, Get thee out of thy country, and from thy kindred, and from thy father's house, unto a land that I will show thee. And I will make of thee a great nation, and I will bless thee, and make thy name great, and thou shalt be a blessing. And I will bless them that bless thee, and curse him that curseth thee, and in thee shall all families of the earth be blessed." Well, when we juxtapose that compared to Galatians 3:29, "And if ye be Christ's, then are ye Abraham's seed, and heirs according to the promise." Right there, we can prove the inheritance that we have. We are not only inheritors of heaven, we are inheritors of the promise given to Abraham. Now, we've run out of time today, but I would greatly appreciate it if tomorrow, if you tune in at the same time, the same channel, because I'd like to prove to you, I'd like to use a program that you might be familiar with, a computer tool that you might use in your daily life, in your job. It's called Microsoft Excel. That's a little teaser for tomorrow. I'm going to prove with Microsoft Excel how you, yourself, are an heir of God. Have a great day for His glory. God bless.